Welcome to CompUcademy. Today we're going to look at the Fizz Buzz Coding Challenge. Now this is a challenge based on a game they play in maths classes where you go around the room, and if your number is a multiple of 3 you say fizz, if it's a multiple of 5 you say buzz, and if it's a multiple of both you say fizz buzz. And you have to kind of really be on your toes to make sure you say the right number. And the challenge is to write a Python program that creates this output up to a given number. So I'm going to go up to 50 or something like that. And you might be asked to do it to 100. But that's not important to the actual problem. So we're going to make a start. We do for I in range, and then our range is going to start at 1, and let's say we want to go to 50. That means that our upper bound in our range parameters needs to be 51, because it always stops one short of that upper bound. So the rules are if it's a multiple of 3, so that means if I mod 3 is equal to 0. Now if you've not seen the mod operator before, this might seem a bit confusing. Basically it means the remainder. So let's say for example I was 8, then I mod 3 would be the remainder on dividing 8 by 3, which we know would be 2, because 8 is 2 times 3 plus 2. Yeah? So when the remainder is 0, we know that we're dealing with an exact multiple of 3. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, pause the video, give it some thought, go and explore Modulo, because it's quite an important operator to know about. So that's our first condition. That's when we print just fizz. Then our second condition was, so if I mod 5 is equal to 0. So this means that our number is a multiple of 5. So we print buzz. Elif both of those. So if we've got I mod 3 is equal to 0 and I mod 5 is also equal to 0. So this is the fizz buzz condition. Otherwise, if none of those conditions hold, then we just say the actual number. So else print I. So in principle, this should work, although there is a little twist, right? So let's just review what we've done. We've created a loop, and we've taken this counter variable starting at 1, stopping at 50. If our number is 3, then we print fizz, that fits the rules. If the number is 5, we say buzz, that also fits the rules. If it's both, we say fizz buzz. So it seems good to go, just printing the number itself if none of those conditions hold. But if we run this, you'll see there's a little problem. So we've got 1, 2, fizz, buzz. When we get to 15, we only have fizz. Okay, so it hasn't worked. So go back to the code and think what may have gone wrong there. So the problem is 15 is actually a multiple of 3. So it only does this print statement, and it doesn't bother going on to these other ones because it's happy, it's satisfied that it's done its job, it's checked the condition, and the condition holds. So there's a problem here. And the way to solve this is, first of all, to understand the problem, and then to think about how to overcome it by checking first for the fizz buzzness, okay, because that's a less likely condition. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this. I'll see if I can do this with copy pasting. So if we have this condition, so in that situation we print fizz buzz. Might have been just as quick to retype it, but hey, I'm lazy. So now we're checking for that first, so that we don't get this kind of early exit from our checking. Then looks like I've got rid of what I needed, so I need to copy that section and put it back with our check for divisibility by 3, which should give us fizz. And then we check for our divisibility by 5. And if none of them hold, then we just print our number. This is looking more promising because we're not going to miss the fizz buzzes by virtue of one of our numbers fitting fizz already. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So let's run that. So now we get our fizz buzzes where we want them. Now, it's actually, there's a lot going on in this little program, and there's a good reason why they use it for interviews, because it tests so many things, little details. As well as kind of bit larger concepts, really, like for example, comparison right, as opposed to assignment. That's a really important one. Using loops effectively with exactly the right parameters for the task. Using this modulo operator, I mean, it doesn't come up all the time, but it is very useful in programming. There's many situations where it comes up. That's worth knowing about. And also, you know, the logic of conditionals and the correct sequencing of the tests to achieve the result you want. So it's a great challenge. I encourage you to have a go yourself and then have a look at my solution and see if you've got the same logic. It doesn't have to look identical, but you want it to perform the same and give the same output. So I'll just show that output again. This is Fizz Buzz. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.